Many experts and historians believe that King Josiah of Judah is responsible for putting together many important parts of the Old Testament. You'll remember from a previous quiz that the book was found during his reign. Many scholars think that King Josiah had a great deal of influence over what was recorded in the Bible from the book of Joshua to the book of 2 Kings. Many feel that Judah is shown in a better light as compared to Israel. Well, in this next set of 10 questions from Carl Shoup's book, Test Your Bible Knowledge, we'll go deeper into the book of 2 Chronicles and relive Judah's past. The multiple choice questions should cover events from the earlier part of the Bible, mainly the splitting of Solomon's kingdom into Israel and Judah. Each of the multiple choice questions has 4 answer choices, and hopefully I'll answer a lot of them correctly, since this should be fairly familiar material. Each one comes with a reference from the Bible, allowing for more research. Okay, I'm ready to test my Bible knowledge, and I'll start with question number 461. Quote, "My little finger shall be thicker than my father's loins," unquote, is what A. Solomon said to the Hittites, B. Rehoboam said to Solomon, C. Rehoboam's young advisors said Rehoboam should say to the Israelites, or D. Solomon's old advisors said Rehoboam should say to the Hittites. Well, I'm pretty confident about this one. I remember this story in the Bible. I'm going to choose the letter C for my answer. Rehoboam's young advisors said Rehoboam should say to the Israelites. 462. When, after Solomon, the Israelites split into those under Jeroboam and those, parentheses, of Judah and Benjamin, under Rehoboam, all of the priestly tribe, the Levites, came to Rehoboam because A. They wanted to officiate in Jerusalem, B. Jeroboam had cast them off from serving as priests, C. Rehoboam offered them more perquisites, or D. The Lord told them to. And for this question, I'm going to choose answer choice B. Jeroboam had cast them off from serving as priests. So for 462, my answer is B. 463. King Rehoboam had, per wife and concubine, A. 1.13 children, B. 1.78 children, C. 2.71 children, or D. 4.16 children. Okay, here it is, one of the author's favorite types of questions that involves numbers. I'm going to use my strategy here. I'm going to get rid of the smallest, which is A, 1.13 children, and I'll get rid of the biggest, 4.16 children, and I'm going to pick between B and C. And for this one, I think it might be 1.78 children, so I'm going to take a chance on this one. 463, I'll answer B. 464. Shishak was A. the birthplace of Rehoboam, B. the king of Egypt, C. a Lebanese dish of roast lamb, or D. the 4th most sacred day in the Israelite calendar. This one here, I remember this also, and it's B. the king of Egypt. Question number 465. When King Abiah with 400,000 men fought King Jeroboam with 800,000 men, A. Abiah lost 150,000 men, B. Jeroboam lost 350,000 men, C. Abiah lost 250,000 men, or D. Jeroboam lost 500,000 men. Here again, number question, and for this one I am not sure at all what the answer is, so I'm going to start eliminating some of these. I'm going to eliminate D. Jeroboam lost 500,000 men. That seems like an awfully high number. And I think I'll eliminate C. Abiah lost 250,000 men. And I'm just going to make a guess here between A and B. I'm going to go with A. Abiah lost 150,000 men. And we'll just have to wait to see what the answer is for this one. 465, I'm going to go with A. 466. King Abiah, Rehoboam's son, had per wife, and then there's parentheses here, no concubines mentioned, A. 1.13 children, B. 1.78 children, C. 2.71 children, or D. 4.16 children. Here again, I have no idea. These number questions are just kind of crazy. I think I'm going to stick with the same answer that I answered for 463. So for 466, I'm going to pick answer choice B. 467. King Asa's army of 580,000 men from Judah and Benjamin defeated an Ethiopian army of A. 200,000 men, B. 500,000 men, C. 800,000 men, or D. 1 million men. I'm going to eliminate D. 1 million men. That seems awfully high. I'm going to throw out C. 800,000 men. B is also a big number, 500,000 men. So I'm just going to go with A for 467, 200,000 men. All right, 468. King Asa, whose heart was perfect all his days, nevertheless committed one grave error. When Baasha, king of Israel, warred against him, Asa A. decided not to ask help from the king of Syria, B. asked help from the king of Syria instead of from the Lord, C. declared war on the king of Syria, or D. never considered the king of Syria. I remember this story, and I'm fairly sure that the correct answer is B. Asked help from the king of Syria instead of from the Lord. So for 468, I'm going to go with B. 469. In the wilderness of Tekoa, Jehoshaphat's forces were victorious over the men of Ammon, Moab, and Mount Seir, A. without raising a hand themselves, B. by setting an ambush with the aid of the Lord, C. at the cost of losing half their men, or D. by persuasion. Well, for this one, I don't really remember the story. Answer B seems to make a whole lot of sense, by setting an ambush with the aid of the Lord. So for 469, I'm going to pick B. 470. King Jehoshaphat, having given the kingdom to his son Jehoram, left to his other sons great gifts of silver, gold, and precious things, together with fenced cities in Judah, but A. to no avail, B. with a guilty conscience, C. under duress, or D. with misgivings. Oh man, I don't remember this one either. I'm just going to have to pick one here. I think that A makes sense, so for 470, I'm going to choose the letter A. Alright, that's the end of this 10, and this was just a weird 10. There were at least 4 questions here that were strictly about numbers, so I'm kind of curious to see which ones I was able to answer correct for this set of 10. So I'll turn back to the book where the answers are waiting for me here. The first one was 460. The correct answer is C, and that's what I put down here was C. That question was the one about the quote, the little finger and thicker than the loins, and the correct answer was C. It was Rehoboam's younger advisors said Rehoboam should say to the Israelites. Alright, 462. The correct answer for that one is B, and I put down B. That question was the one about the Levites and how they had came to Rehoboam because Jeroboam had cast them off from serving as priests. Alright, 463. This was the first one of the, I think there were 4 that had answer choices that were nothing but numbers. The question for this one, King Rehoboam had per wife and concubine. I said B, 1.78 children, and in fact it's A, 1.13 children. Alright, moving on to 464. The correct answer for that is B, and that's what I put down here, B. That was the one about King Shishak of Egypt. 465. The question was, when King Abiah with 400,000 men fought King Jeroboam with 800,000 men, and I picked A, Abiah lost 150,000 men, but the correct answer is D. Jeroboam lost 500,000 men. Alright, 466. This is the next question here that has numbers for answers, and it's another ratio question. King Abiah, Rehoboam's son, had per wife, and then there was in parentheses no concubines mentioned. I picked B again, 1.78 children, and the correct answer for that one was C, 2.71 children. Okay, moving on to 467, and it was the last of the 4 questions that had numbers for answers. The question was, King Asa's army of 580,000 men from Judah and Benjamin defeated an Ethiopian army of, I picked A, 200,000 men, and the correct answer was D, 1 million men. Alright, so we'll just move right on to 468. That question was the one about King Asa and warring against King Baasha of Israel. I picked B, asked help from the king of Syria instead of from the Lord, and that is the correct answer, B, for 468. 469, the correct answer for that one is A, and I put down B. That question asked, in the wilderness of Tekoa, Jehoshaphat's forces were victorious over the men of Ammon, Moab, and Mount Seir. And like I said, I picked B by setting an ambush with the aid of the Lord, but the correct answer is A, without raising a hand themselves. All right, 470, the last question. The correct answer is A, and that's what I put down here, A. That question was the one that read, King Jehoshaphat, having given the kingdom to his son Jehoram, left to his other sons, and then it listed what was left to the other sons, and the correct answer, A, to no avail. Okay, that one was a bit tricky, that quiz, and I was only able to get 6 of them correct. That's a 60%. Not that great, really, but those number questions, boy, they're kind of tricky. So hopefully that'll be the last of those for a while, but we'll have to see. We'll move on into the middle of the book of 2 Chronicles with the next set of 10 questions, and then after that it's on to the book of Ezra. And in the book of Ezra, the children of Israel will return to the promised land.